Help is a powerful thing. It comes in many different ways. It can be expected as unexpected. It can be effective and also ineffective. And it always comes in two ways. It's either given or it's requested. Let me give you an example. Imagine a cold winter's day. A lot of snow has fallen. It's very cold, below freezing. There's a hard wind blowing, and in the middle of this snow, there's a man standing there. He's unprotected, he's not dressed for the cold. And now you come along. You got two options here. You either help this man, or you don't. Let's say you don't. You go home, the man freezes, and you're wondering, what the hell was he doing inside of the snow anyways? Nobody learns anything, nobody is the wiser. Let's say you help this person. A funny thing happens. The man who is helped, you give him a blanket, take him inside, a cup of coffee or whatever. He feels great. He knows there's somebody out there watching out for him. So he has a good feeling. He feels good about that. You also get a great feeling. You probably go tell everybody around what you did. I helped somebody. That's what we like to do. We like to help people. It makes us feel good. It's almost addictive even. This talk is about the call for help that we heard and saw, and our vision in the form of the Sheltersuit that provides this help.
I am Bas Timmer, and I am a fashion designer. I am passionate about art and design, and I like to create unusual but practical solutions.
And my name is Alexander de Groot, and I have the pleasure of trying to figure out how to organize all of his crazy ideas.
Together, we created the Sheltersuit. It's a jacket with an attachable sleeping bag, which you can carry around with the provided duffel bag. Now, in the winter of 2013, something terrible happened. The father of two of my friends died on the street due to hypothermia. A few years before that, I went on an internship in Copenhagen, and I saw people laying on the streets, having a cold time. I thought maybe my sweaters, with an attached scarf, could keep them warm in the night. But I had no idea how to organize all of this because it had to be a free product. After this accident, I talked with Alexander, and I asked him if he thought it would be possible to create this free product. He immediately said, yes, I can help him. So at that moment, we decided to bond our expertise to create an answer, or at least try to keep them warm during the night. This is the Sheltersuit. The Sheltersuit is a jacket with an attachable sleeping bag. It has a big hoodie, because when you sleep outside, you want to cover your eyes if there is a lot of light. I put in a turtleneck so you can keep your face warm, some big pockets, wind cuffs, and the inside is made out of sleeping bag material. When we handed out our first Sheltersuit to a homeless person, I asked him what he thought about it. Well, he was, of course, very happy, but there was also something he said that he felt a little bit trapped. And I said, what do you mean? He said, if you're sleeping on the streets, it can be very dangerous. An angry person can come along trying to steal your stuff, so you want to be able to protect yourself or at least be able to run away. So I made an opening at the bottom, which you can close again, and so the homeless person can run away. Kind of funny, but it's still practical.
So, now that we had this idea ready, this Sheltersuit, we actually had to make it work. We had to build it and create it. So as many of you here know, Enschede used to be a big textile producing city. So we decided, let's call all the remaining textile factories in the surrounding area and ask them if they had any rest materials, like leftovers or any manufacturing errors, like fabrics with the wrong logo on it. Nobody wants that. Fabrics with the wrong coloring code. As long as the fabric itself was still good, then we could work with it. So soon after, we found a big textile producing company that specializes in tent materials. They were very excited and were very willing to help us out. And the good thing about tent materials is it already possesses all the requirements and specifications that we were looking for in the first place. See, it's waterproof, it's breathable, it's windproof, and it's super strong. So now that we had very high quality, durable, good waterproof outside materials, we needed to keep the suit warm. It wasn't really doing that so far. So luckily, with the help of a big sleeping bag producer who uses a hollow fiber, which hollow fiber makes sure that it's super insulated, we were now able to produce waterproof and warm shelter suits.
Now the problem came, how are we going to give away these shelter suits to the homeless? Well, we thought it would be a great idea to drive around at night and look for people who were sitting outside and ask them if they were homeless. Of course, this is a very stupid idea.
Yep.
Especially with all these hipsters nowadays, you know. So, second, it's not very nice to ask someone if he's homeless, whether he is or he isn't. The typical view of a homeless person is that he has a big beard, is a bit smelly, wears old clothing, and drinks a cheap brand of beer. But actually the opposite is true. He can look just like me, and he can just look like you. It can even be women and children. And you see the governments, they're trying to keep the homeless out of the cities and out of sight. They can even not make shelter when they don't have any place to stay.
Exactly. So we don't try to look at the past or the reasons why somebody ended up in a homeless situation. We only want to give them the means to stay warm and safe by the day. So soon, when this plan failed, and it did, we went to a social organization like the Salvation Army and asked them if they could help us find people that would be in need of a shelter suit. They said yes, and this worked perfectly. We gave away the first prototype of the shelter suit to a guy right here in Enschede, and he was very happy to receive it. A few months passed, and I see the same guy standing in Enschede next to the train station wearing a different jacket. So I could still remember his name, and I thought I'd walk up to him. So I said, "Hey, Peter." He was kind of spooked, and he became a little angry also at me, and he said, "How do you know my name?" And I said, "Well, I'm one of the guys who gave you a shelter suit last year. You know, the jacket with the attachable sleeping bag." And he said, "Yes, I remember." He immediately became open and friendly, and we talked, and I said, "Well, tell me, what did you think of the shelter suit? And where's yours?" And he said the shelter suit was great. It worked awesome, and he said to me, the shelter suit is now for safekeeping in the local shelter, so we could use it next year. But then, he said something that quite moved me. He said that him and 4 other guys had shared that same shelter suit all winter long. So they would switch every night and pass it along to the next person the next day, so they all had equal warmth. I was quite surprised to hear this. I mean, you wouldn't expect this from somebody who would be in no position, you'd assume, to offer help. But he did. And when he told me, I could see the pride and joy within him that he did this. See, helping people is a good thing. It's a fun thing. So I told him, we'll make sure that we bring 5 new shelter suits to your local shelter for you and your friends. And I've been told that they've been already picked up. So that's a good thing.
Last winter, we made 100 shelter suits with the help of a local sewing company. We immediately saw that this wasn't nearly enough. Because of the great reactions from the homeless and also from the organizations, we decided to continue. So this winter, we are going to make 1,000 shelter suits.
It all sounds good, but you got to do it, and that's where I come in. It's my problem. See, if you want to make 1,000 shelter suits, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need skilled labor, skilled craftsmen, actually. I mean, it's not easy making a shelter suit. You're going to need money. You're going to need materials, sewing machines, a place to store all of this, a place to work. We basically had to build a company. So that's exactly what we did. We started a foundation that works like a company, basically, but with a very different mindset than a usual company. Maybe Simon Sinek said it best. He said, always start with the why. I see some people shaking here. Simon Sinek, check it out. Always start with the why. Why do you do what you do? Huh? Most people here, they don't even know the why in their jobs. Why do you do it? Is it because of the profit, your salary, a big car, big office? These are just results. It's of great importance to know exactly why you do what you do. Because if you know why you do it, then you can easily find people that can emphasize with your reasons, and in that way, you can find truly motivated people who are willing to help and support you to get further. So if you were to ask us, why did you make the shelter suit? We would say, we wanted to create a free product that offers warmth and protection against the elements for all to use.
So we now know why we do it, now how to do it. Money, machines, materials are not that big kind of problem to find, but to find the right skilled people who can work behind the machines and produce high-quality shelter suits is a bit more difficult. And of course, the people with the right mindset who want to do all of this work on a voluntary basis.
Yeah, so when we founded our family, because we wanted to be like a family.
Yeah, we basically say the same thing. If you want to work with us, you have to do this for the right reasons. It's not about what you can earn, but what you can add to this project. Like in every family, everybody has talents. And with us, you can discover your talents. And if we all like it, we can start working on it.
So when we started with all our volunteers, and they're from all different kind of backgrounds. We got the homeless, refugees, students, and just regular old folk out in the neighborhood that all helped us out. We not only wanted to give them an open and safe environment where they could join freely and have a meaningful day with like-minded people, but we wanted to offer our volunteers, especially the ones with the distance to the job market, like the homeless or the refugees, a true perspective, a paying job. In order to do this, we had to create a structure that would facilitate to this plan. So we found a licensed Dutch teacher who comes to our factory 2.5 days a week and provides Dutch assimilation lessons. The assimilation course takes 48 weeks to complete, and when finished, allows someone to take the Dutch state exams. Besides that, we also teamed up with a local driving school, and together with them, we found a translation company that is going to translate the entire Dutch theoretical driving book into Arabic. I mean, come on. Since a driving license is supposed to be part of your freedom, the American dream, they sell it. These guys, they already know how to drive. They just needed some help in learning.
We deliberately built this course with a reward system in mind. For the homeless, for instance, they can learn a true craft and they regain some structure. And if they match our values, they can even get a paying job. For our Syrian friends, our first priority is that they go to school and finish the Dutch exams. After that, they will also get a paying job. If this doesn't work out due to the lack of money, we now have a big group of partners and sponsors where you can go to ask for a job, which now consists of more than 75 companies. If this also doesn't work, they now have driving license, they know how to speak Dutch, and they have been working for 1 year in a factory. So this greatly improves their power in the Dutch labor force.
Exactly. So the Sheltersuit itself actually became a vehicle for a social enterprise that can be copied all over the world. No one deserves to die out of hypothermia on the streets. No one should be left outside of the community. We believe that everybody has a skill for the better. Everybody, no matter where you're from, can start contributing today with all that they have. Let's create a Sheltersuit community that is based on respect and not on judgment, that goes outside of the box and no boundaries, and it goes beyond only clothing. We think the Sheltersuit Foundation improves lives and maybe even saves a life. And we hope to think that even if it saves only one life, then this whole ride was worth it.